If I was to say what is the most useless feature in Grand Cross, there are quite a few to name off, right? Reverse stages. They're kind of a one and done thing, and they literally do not update it. The brawl modes, literally, you can see I've not even participated in it in months. It's been that long, but I don't even bother. It's like, are the rules even worth it? Maybe the coin shop is just, you're never really in here anymore buying stuff. But for me, this might be the most useless feature in the game. Now, granted, don't get me wrong, right? You can still get characters. Maybe you get lucky enough to get like a 1 in 100 to get actual Tamiya, which is the only basically good thing of this banner. Or maybe someone new. Maybe you want to get dupes for Nanashi because you haven't maxed them out yet. You know, there'll be some uses, and you'll be saying in the comments down below. I find it okay. Or maybe you just get random dupe coins and you can just use them for Awakening. But for me, it's a bit bad because it's a feature that was honestly what made the game iconic in a way. The reason why Grand Cross is so good, especially in the early days, was because you can skip characters and they'll go into the part 1 banner, and the way the part 1 banners were decided was when they showed up in the anime. If they were part of season 1, they went into the part 1 banner. One of the best times is when they gave out Green Hendrickson. I remember saying back in a while ago, boys, save your tickets for Green Hendrickson, because at least your part 1's, right? Because that was like the last character to get updated in the actual part 1 banner. So to get him almost for free, I mean, I think he was free, right? But to get him duped out a little bit because he had quite a good ultimate weak point. It was just getting a nice little feature. Say, hey, there's new characters now in the actual part 1 banners. Go crazy. Part 2's a little bit rare. I remember going crazy trying to get Derriere and then finally getting
This is my 32 ticket here. So let's see if we get after 32 tickets. Come on. Oh my god! Oh, oh my god! Oh my god! It was a cool thing to get commandments and, you know, the newer characters that were appearing in season 2. And then came part 3. Part 3 was obviously, as you can imagine, from part 1 and part 2 being restricted towards their seasons. Part 3 was meant to be characters that showed up in season 3, right? And that would be obviously Sario, Tamiel, Chandler, basically all the newer characters. But the reason why they never actually made a part 3 banner was because it'd be too OP, right? The part 1s had some trash in it. The part 2s had some trash in it. So you can kind of get away with actually pulling some bad characters, where part 3 it would only be filled with good characters. I think there may be like 1 or 2 bad ones. I think one of them was actually Nanashi, but he's actually aged quite well now. So their way to implement the part 3 banner, which came very late by the way, was a guaranteed SSR draw where they just put everyone into one, which to be fair makes sense actually. It's not a bad idea. I don't mind it. For the longest time we thought we were never going to get a part 3 banner, so to get one with all the characters on it was quite nice. Once again, you kind of see where part 3 starts. Basically down here, all of these guys on it, Xario, Tamiel, you can see the value, right? The only bad ones were what, Jericho, Arthur, and then Liz, and then Nanashi and Denzel. It was like, there's about 50% chance you were going to get someone good. So you had to do this. It's the only option they could do. But then they just didn't have a right schedule for it. I don't recall how long it took for them to get added to the part 1 banners. I believe it was a week after the banner left. So almost straight away, right? So you can ideally, I think Derriere, she was out for 2 weeks. You skipped her, like is what I did, and I stayed on my ticket to try and get her, and I think I eventually got her, right? But I think it was almost instant they got added to the ticket draw. But when it came to this banner, it was a bit inconsistent. I think the first character that got added to this ticket banner was the female Sario, right? The little one. On the 13th of January, 2022 is when he came out. And I believe it took literally 3 months exactly from when his banner left the game to be added. Once again, a massive difference from going from 2 weeks towards 3 months. But then we got Tamiel. Tamiel dropping about a couple of months later on April. But when did this guy get added? I mean, I'll probably put a timestamp on the actual screen now of when he got added, I think, towards tickets. But it was over 6 months. Double the time of Sario at least. And now it's even worse. The next character that's going to be added towards the SSR tickets is SSR Demon Chandler and also kind of SSR Demon Cusack. A little bit later ones, but they may add both together because why not, right? But boys, when did Chandler come out? September 2022. It's been a full-on year since he's been out, and he's still not on the tickets. This is why I don't like it. And honestly, that's kind of why I'm saving all my tickets. It's going to be a banging video when I eventually do it, because I have been saving my tickets. I've used something about 20 by now. But I've saved these tickets since the release of Sario. Literally, January of 2022, I started saving. I haven't resummoned since. And literally next month, I have been saving for 2 years. 2 years I've been saving these tickets.
And that's kind of why I think it's the most useful feature in the game, because the characters just don't get added to tickets when they should get added. I mean, once again, boys, look, the characters going to be added is, Chandler and Cusack, Demon Chandler and Cusack, not great characters. I mean, you can kind of use Demon and Cusack in the sub slot, but like, who's going to care if they get added tickets? Because they're only going to be like 1%. And there's also, I believe right now, Greenland DCL. And that's kind of one of the other bigger problems. Characters nowadays just don't get added because they're all seasonals. I get we are towards the end of the story, so we aren't getting too many new characters, new faces. So of course, when we do get a Sins character, they're either a festival because it is the end of the story, so they're quite big characters, or they're going to be a seasonal, like how we got Elizabeth, like how we got Merlin, like how we got King. Any Sin that came out this year that wasn't a DCL was basically, who was a seasonal by the way, but he changed it because he was that bad. But everyone other than that has just been a seasonal character. The new Oslo and Hawk are all seasonals. The new Elaine was a seasonal. There's a new Cusack apparently coming or been leaked a while ago. He's probably going to be a seasonal. Christmas is coming up. We're going to get another seasonal. So not only are we not getting the option to get characters to be added to the ticket banners, even when they do become an option to be added, they don't get added for years later. And it's gotten to the point now, they don't even bother saying they're going to be added to the SSR tickets. For example, the DCL, I believe, was one of the last characters to say it. But even when they're not being added, they still say they will not be added. So, for example, DCL, the character will be added to the permanent gacha after this period ends. So you know they're going to be actually added towards the actual, SSR tickets. But, how long before that happens, right? And then nowadays, you just don't even bother saying it. Like, Elette will be added to the tickets. They've done that for the blue and red one so far. Despite it kind of being seasonal a little bit, they kind of treat it as like a non-seasonal. So she will be added to tickets, but in like a year's time, right? But now the only thing they say is that they will be added to the rare and SR tickets. Because these ones actually do get updated. Once again, I've saved most of my tickets here for Demon Chandler and Demon Cusack, and they're not been added. But for some reason, they add some characters, like they added the Elette, but not Demon Chandler, Demon Cusack. Elette came out way afterwards. Like, the choice and picks just doesn't make any sense. It's like, how is it Lane? A new character came out of this shit in the tickets before Demon Chandler and Demon Cusack. Once again, they're not even broken characters. The game's not going to break if we get a 6-6 Demon Chandler or Cusack. I just don't understand the priority. Once again, all the Ragnarok characters typically get added as well. I just generally don't understand. And I get the fact that there aren't any new faces a little bit, but there still kind of aren't. That doesn't mean you can't go back and get older characters, right? Like Gelder, for example. Gelder shouldn't be seasonal, should just be a more 600 banner. Shouldn't be a festival either, right? Wouldn't mind, by the way. But if they did just make her, she'd be a normal 600 banner and would be considered a part 3 or maybe a part 4 character, but she would get added to the tickets, but like, in a year's time. I've made a ton of videos this year talking about it, but like, we'll not run out of characters. Despite being at the end of the series, we still skipped a ton of characters. Like, we can still get Demon Gopher, for example. The Endurers, wouldn't mind them being festivals, but they should, if they wanted to, just be normal 600 banners that would get added to the tickets, and it will add more value and make more sense. Other than that, once again, I know some people say, nah, I don't mind it, it's pretty good, but like, come on, this is one of the most forgotten and inconsistent features in Grand Cross, and I just hate it for it, man, because once again, I've been saving for almost 2 years just waiting for Demon Chandler to come to tickets, or even that. You can even argue the only time this is actually worth summoning or even using your tickets is the actual Wish Step Up banner, which I might add, the only time they did it was before they added Tamiel, and it makes sense, right? They didn't want anyone getting a 6-6 Tamiel, where nowadays I can see why they haven't done it, because once again, everyone will have a 6-6 Tamiel, but once again, I think almost 2 years since he's been out. Is it that bad? I mean, most people have him 6-6. I still don't have him. I've only have 1-6, so I wouldn't mind giving him detail a little bit. But then again, I can probably spend my 167 tickets and probably get him 6-6. Actually, now I'm saying that out loud, I'm probably lucky to get him twice. But so yeah, boys, that's gonna wrap up today's video. One of my biggest excitements for this game right now, and kind of like my last hope a little bit, is Fortnite's Apocalypse. That can kind of be a big expansion towards doing new content, new bosses, new things in the game that, like, just, the pet system that was leaked a while ago. Don't know how that will work in the game, but it'll be a pretty cool feature, and that could come along with Fortnite's. However, the Fortnite's characters, how are they gonna class them, right? Are they gonna be seasonals? Are they gonna be treated like the OC characters, where they're like kind of seasonal but not seasonal? Like, OCs don't get added to the ticket banners, they only ever return on the OC banners. So are they going to get that treatment where we're only ever going to get Fortnite's characters on Fortnite's banners? I would love if they were to get added to tickets. Once again, even if they were to be added to tickets, probably be on the 2-year annie for Origins at that point. So boys, thank you for watching today's video. Let me know what you think of this actual banner system in the game. It's just, it used to be such a cool mechanic in the game, just to skip a character, get them 2 weeks later. Not saying you should do that now, but 3 months at least to be added to tickets, like how Saria was, isn't a bad feature. And with how diluted the banner is, you may not even get them. But hey, if someone at free to play was to get a newer character, that came out a few months ago by doing a lucky random summon or something. That would be kind of nice, and it'd be nice for the ones who did save. So boys, thank you for watching. Who knows? Maybe Netmarble will sees my ticket count and realize, yeah, we're not going to be adding anything new because this guy's going to get more. So boys, thank you for watching, and yeah, peace.